in what situation we actually shy away or don't receive love or money, because generally we would want to receive it.
So this is exactly what I said at the beginning when I was talking about the examples. There are conclusions that the child comes to when the person is young. The most formative years are from 1 to say 8 years. At that time, whatever conclusions the child comes to stays with them. So if they have come to a conclusion that I am not good enough, now suppose a mother keeps telling the child, "What are you doing? You're not doing it right." So the child comes to a conclusion that I cannot do anything right. She cannot decide. She's too young to decide. She or he, of course, uh, is too young to decide that she's talking with only one particular area. And the child comes to the conclusion that I'm not good enough and my mother doesn't love me till I can do everything perfectly. And that perfection never comes because there is nothing called perfection. And the child stops receiving things there because she's not good enough. And that becomes a block. So when you work on not being good enough, all kinds of receiving will open up. Love also.
A warm welcome to you, Jaya, in today's podcast.
Thank you so much, Manjari, for having me with you. It's really a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is mine. So, Jaya is a coach, a therapist, and a trainer. She also worked in corporate for around 2 decades and also has an experience of around 2 decades in the therapy world. So, today we are going to understand from Jaya about the tips and tricks about money manifestation, which is such an important and interesting topic for us. So, now let's understand directly from Jaya how has been her journey.
So, my journey started pretty early in life when I joined the corporate. And I was working in several roles. Finally, I came to HR and I worked with an IT company for some time. And there I was attached to a business unit of people uh, who were a small group of people. Finally, we were about 400 people. And I found that the people had several issues, personal and otherwise. And I became like an agony aunt. They would come and tell me all their problems, and I would try to solve them the best I could. And I found that I was rather good at it. So I decided to do a training in counseling, and I started my journey with counseling actually. Although I had an interest in it earlier, I had not trained myself. So when I started counseling, I came across many, many modalities and I kept doing them. And now, when I'm doing my therapies, it is like an integrated form. It is not that I do one particular modality only. So I do several modalities of alternative healing. Yeah, that's how I
So,
like to.
so what made you transit from counseling to therapy?
Well, counseling is a part of therapy, it is not separate. So
Okay.
even today, I do counseling, like marriage counseling, people having problems with. There is a lot of talk therapy which I do now because people want a space where they can talk freely. Today, that is a need of the hour. The more healing happens, even in that talk therapy, than anything else. And the base is counseling. So I haven't left counseling at all.
Okay.
It's part of my life.
Oh, very nice
Yeah.
to know that. So, Jaya, what has been your personal experience about money manifestation?
Possibly money has been an issue with me for many years of my life. And I started trying to solve those issues in my own healing journey. And I started identifying what was making the blocks in my life. And so eventually I started taking it out to other people who had similar problems. So I started doing workshops or even one-on-one sessions of people who were, interested in getting a better grip on money. So that is how I got into this specialization of money, if you want to call it that way. I've done many, many uh, workshops on money of several types of workshops from 2 hours to 3 days. So it has been a good journey, yes.
So, what has been your observation? Like, generally, why would a person not manifest money? Like, what are the pitfalls or common mistakes you have seen in your practice as a therapist that people miss out manifesting money in their life?
I would not call them mistakes. Uh, we very often don't realize what we are storing in our subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is where we store our memories. And these memories play a very important role in the way we live, we behave, and so on. What I have found is there are belief systems and blocks we have already put in place, maybe from a very early childhood, or it could be from a past life, or it could be from the ancestors. If there are beliefs in the family, that comes down generation after generation, and that becomes a pattern in that family. If it is from a past life, it becomes a pattern in your life. So, time and again, you find the same thing happening to you as a block, but it actually comes from a past life which has not been healed. And your own, in the present life itself, you will find that there are certain conclusions a child has come to, and that is playing a part in a block for manifestation of money. For example, if it is like a child was told time and again, you have to work very hard for money. This is something that we have heard all our lives, I think,
Yes,
most of
पैसे
us.
पेड़ पे नहीं उगते हैं. This I keep going.
हाँ,
पैसे पेड़ पे नहीं उगते हैं.
पेट में नहीं
मेहनत
उठते
करना
हैं.
पड़ता है.
हाँ, बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ता है. These are things which all of us have heard. But some of us have made that into a conclusion that I have to work very hard. So they are not allowing themselves to even have an easier job when they have some experience. They still want to keep doing something hard to get that money. So, for example, if the person has got money in the bank, he can very well relax if it is only money he's looking for and enjoy that money. But he doesn't do that. He will keep working again and again and again so that he justifies himself in making that money. So that is how these belief systems come into being. Yeah.
Yeah. And in your experience, can you share with us any turnaround story in your while working with your clients and all, in which a person was miraculously able to manifest money through beliefs by changing the beliefs?
Yeah. There are many instances where people have been very successful in turning around their money issues. Like I had a client very early in my therapy journey. She had a problem when she was being expected by her mother, like in the womb, because she was the third child, and the first two children were born in a private hospital. And when her turn came, the parents decided to go to a government hospital because they couldn't afford, they already had two children, and this was the third one. And the child had absorbed that as a limitation to say that I am not good enough.
Okay.
And that is why I'm not being taken to a private hospital. And I'll always have that lack in my life. That was a conclusion the fetus had come to. And that is exactly what happened in her life. How much ever she earned, she felt that money was scarce and she didn't have enough and she was not good enough. So once she had done that healing, she became much better and she could hold a job and be satisfied with the money that she had uh, got earned through that job. So there are several instances where people have turned around. There are instances where ancestral healing has helped people to recover land which was under dispute, and we have worked on that. And the people who are in dispute come across for an agreement, and it is solved. So it's not only money as in liquidity, it can also be wealth. So there
Yeah.
are several forms of money which can be healed through our therapies.
And as you rightly said, that in the womb, because in Mahabharat also we hear that that
Yeah.
kids, and now even in Western world, people have uh, enough evidence, and a lot of experiment has been done to prove that in the uterus also the child absorbs the environment.
Yes, of course, of course.
And
And the emotions of the parents.
yes.
Emotions of the parents and caretakers around them.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So this is very good. So would you, for first timer, like if they would like to start in the journey of money manifestation, or to say wealth manifestation, what are the key things, or what are the first steps a person has to take?
There are not exactly first steps, I should say, but one must understand that money is an energy like everything else. So we have to treat money as an energy, and the energy can flow to you or not flow to you. It can neither be created nor destroyed. It will be there in some form. So if there is a block, it will not flow to you. So what you need to do is remove that block, and you have to be quite honest with yourself. And under supervision of a therapist or a counselor, you can actually come uh, beyond that and let the money flow towards you, and that makes it easier for you to receive. You might even have problems receiving, but that may not be in money alone. It might be in many things. Like you may not receive love from people. And money is also an energy, love is also an energy. So both starts flowing to you. When you, what is most interesting about money is that when you start working with money, several areas of your life start healing. It's not just money.
Okay.
The lot of areas of your life start healing.
So as
Like
you
your job starts improving, or your situation at home with other people become more harmonious. So many things happen.
So, as you mentioned, that money is a energy, and the flow is important. However, a lot of people can't even receive it. So, a little bit more, because who would not want to receive it? Maybe it is metaphorical, or we do not know, or subconsciously we are not receiving. Can you explain it with some example? In what situation we actually shy away or don't receive love or money? Because generally we would want to receive it.
So this is exactly what I said at the beginning when I was talking about the examples. There are conclusions that the child comes to when the person is young. The most formative years are from 1 to say 8 years. At that time, whatever conclusions the child comes to stays with them. So if they have come to a conclusion that I'm not good enough, now suppose a mother keeps telling the child, "What are you doing? You're not doing it right." So the child comes to a conclusion that I cannot do anything right. She cannot decide. She's too young to decide. She or he, of course, uh, is too young to decide that she's talking with only one particular area. And the child comes to the conclusion that I'm not good enough and my mother doesn't love me till I can do everything perfectly. And that perfection never comes because there is nothing called perfection. And the child stops receiving things there because she's not good enough. And that becomes a block. So when you work on not being good enough, all kinds of receiving will open up. Love also, because you've stopped your mother's love also there. Because unless I'm good enough, my mother will not love me. So
Okay.
they need approval from people all the time. So these are pretty common actually.
Are there in your, because you must have worked with many clients, so are there any like kind of a do's and don'ts for the money energy to flow in, like what we need to be careful about and what we need to do to allow the energy flow of money in our life?
One of the things is the words that we use. If we can change our language, I'll never have enough money in my life. I've heard many people say this because they feel a scarcity. The moment you say never, that is going to be a never in your life.
मैं तो
So,
कड़का हूँ, मैं तो कड़का हूँ,
हाँ,
मेरा जेब खाली है.
खाली है, पैसा आता है जाता है, मेरे पास रहता नहीं है. ये सब we hear so much of these things, you know. So think about the words that you're using about money. If you keep saying that I need money, need is a word which we should not be using because need remains a need. It will never be fulfilled. So I need money, I want money, it will always remain a want and a need. So there are certain words you don't use. And open yourselves to say that I am abundant. Whatever I receive is fine with me. And you will find things changing in your life. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Actually, it does. What you do with money is another story. But money can flow to you very easily if you open yourself to receive it.
Yes, that is quite a point. Words have a lot of power. When we are saying negative words about money or in general, कि मेरा तो ऐसे ही है, मैं हमेशा ऐसे ही कर देती हूँ, हमेशा लेट ही हो जाता है, हमेशा काम खराब ही हो जाता है, then we are actually through the words creating some sort of reality for us. Vis-a-vis, when we use positive words, there also we are creating some sort of reality for us. But
Yeah.
what most people struggle is when I am really not abundant in money and I'm really struggling, then it is very difficult for few people, or I would say most of the people to.
It is difficult for most people. So, what you need to do is actually identify, you can write down what am I saying? What are the words I'm using? And also, what are my thoughts about money? So, when you write down, you have a clearer picture about what you need to get out of your space to invite money in.
And
And
and as you mentioned that, but if I'm struggling with money, then it will look or it will feel very obnoxious to say I am abundant, because in one side I am like, in reality I'm really struggling. I don't know whether I will survive the next few days or not. I don't have rent to pay, and then I am saying on one side I'm abundant. money flows to me effortlessly and easily. So how can one do that?
You can actually analyze how much money are you spending in a month. We usually don't look at that at all. We keep saying that there is no money. But when you actually write down and make a budget and see how much money you are spending quite a bit. Where did that money come from? And when you say, I don't have money in the bank, it is never true because at least the minimum amount of money will be in the bank. So saying I have no money is actually not true at all. When you start realizing that what you have in your hand is quite a bit, you will start changing. And every time you receive money, say thank you. This is going to bring a lot more behind it. And when you spend money, say, this is coming back to me tenfold.
Yeah.
So you're actually thanking the money for being in your space to pay those bills. And here in today's world, we are not only dealing with money which you have already earned, we are also dealing with money which we have not earned at all, like a credit card. So we are swiping the credit card, and the money has come to you before you have earned it. So understand that the money is coming to you. That understanding itself will change everything for you.
And we often say that I can't afford this or anything.
Yeah.
So that's also have a negative connotation to it. I cannot afford a Mercedes, or I cannot afford a big flat or something like that. We already say. So if for the audience, if they do not want to use this negative connotation, what exactly they should say in this place? Instead of I cannot afford.
I don't want to buy this right now. That's all.
Yeah.
Make it simple. I mean, yeah, I will come back with more money to buy this.
Yeah.
Put it on a wish list. So it's not out of your space. Sometime you'll go back to that wish list. If you make a wish list, this is what I have found, okay? So I make wish list, and then I find that 2 months later, when I go back there, many things I have written there I don't want anymore. I have satisfied it in some way or the other. So that is not a requirement for me. It is just a wish for the moment. Okay, Manjari has this kurta which I like very much. So I want that for the moment. I can't afford it at the moment. But in 2 months, I have satisfied by looking at Manjari in that kurta. So it no longer is my requirement. It was just a wish.
Okay.
So when you analyze your everyday thought about money like this, you will find a lot of things you don't have to afford also
Yeah.
because it is not important enough for you.
Yeah, research also say we buy a lot of things which we actually never use or we don't need it.
And one of the things I have found is, especially during COVID, what I found was that I was ordering a lot of things on Amazon, which I didn't even need. And one fine day I sat up and looked at it and I said, why am I buying all this? Because I was lonely. This item was in some way feeling that loneliness of not having people around. And that was what was making me spend the money. So when we start analyzing like this, you will find that there are several emotions which we are carrying with us, and that is what is making us spend or save or keep money.
So that is like we keep accumulating material things which we do not need or require or we don't use to fill some internal void. It can be loneliness or it can be something else or
It can be sadness, it can be worry. When you get very stressed, haven't you seen people go to the mall to just look around. Even that window shopping gives you some kind of kick, and then you will end up spending money because you see something and you like it and you buy it. But it has nothing to do with the requirement.
Yeah.
It has something to do with your mood. You're trying to elevate your mood by doing something which is satisfying to you for the moment. It is only a momental pleasure.
Yeah. So money has three pillars. Like one is earning is just one pillar. The second will be spending. And also the third will be investing, like judicious use or
Investing
investment.
and saving in some form.
Yeah.
All three are required, and they are not areas which you're not familiar with. They are required. So unless you do that, you won't be completely happy.
Would you like to do any process with us, Jaya, today?
Yeah, I was thinking that I could take you through a small process, short one,
Yeah.
just to let you know that money is an energy and you can actually feel it. So maybe we could talk about abundance. So I thought we could just do a small uh, process for that. So just make an intention. First of all, just think for a moment, what would you like to intend? Like an example I'm giving you is I'm open to receiving abundance and financial prosperity. It is an intention.
Yeah.
So I hope all of you have made an intention for yourself. Now sit comfortably and find a space which you won't be disturbed in. Just slowly close your eyes and allow your body to relax completely. Take a few comfortable breaths and allow all the worries, concerns, doubts, or any other negative energy to leave you as you breathe out. And when you're ready, you can breathe normally and feel your body going into a state of comfortable relaxation and your mind becoming calmer. Now, silently state the intention you have made for yourself. For example, I am open to receiving abundance and financial prosperity. Now imagine yourself surrounded by wealth. Each person has his or her own image of wealth. So choose your own image. As if you're living a very affluent life, maybe in a very nice apartment or house, or that you have a lot of money to spend, or you have a substantial bank balance. Whichever, according to you, is financial abundance, picture that in your life. And picture money flowing into your life effortlessly. It could be an energy like a warmth, a freshness, or like a cool breeze. Or you might feel a sense of peace. And if you are a very visual person, you might even see money in terms of notes or a color which you associate with money. And you would also possibly sense opportunities, unexpected sources, or fulfillment of your work, which is bringing in more money. See or sense or know how this abundance is flowing to you. As you breathe in, feel the energy of money in your space completely coming from all sides, from the front, back, sides, from up and from below. Allow the money energy to come to you and through you, because there has to be giving and receiving. This is an energy. It has to flow. Feel it for a while when you won't be hearing my voice. As you visualize or sense or feel this energy of money going in and out of you, feel a deep sense of gratitude, as if you have already received this money. Gratitude raises your vibration, helping you attract what you desire. After holding this feeling for a few moments, release the attachment to the outcome, how this feeling is going to come to you. Trust the universe to provide in its own way and timing, and let go of the attachment to the outcome. Take a deep, comfortable breath and say mentally, I let go of the attachment to the outcome and trust that abundance is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Now you can also say a money affirmation. For example, money flows into me and through me abundantly and easily. And again, feel that comfort, the warmth, the freshness, or the cool breeze, or a sense of peace of this abundance completely in every cell of your body. Slowly bring your awareness back by moving your toes and your fingers. Turn your body from left to right. Rub your hands together. Cup your eyes. And open your eyes with a lovely, abundant smile.
Many thanks, Jaya, for
I
the
hope all of you enjoyed it.
yeah. And do we need to do this visualization once or whenever we want or regular?
You can do it. You can do it whenever you want. It is best done either just before going to sleep or just waking up. That is when it has the maximum effect. And you can improve it. This is the first time you've done it, so you might not have thought the money energy looks like. You can improve it by just thinking about how do you see money energy and actually visualize that. So each person's imagination of money might be quite different. So one might think that it is a red energy, one might think it is a yellow energy, then most people think it is a green energy because that is what is talked about. So you can choose the color, you can choose the form, how it comes to you, and you can enjoy it every time.
Okay.
And
Well,
it is best done for 21 days. Then a lot of things might change in your space. So you can tell us what the changes are in the comments below.
and Jaya, very interestingly, you spoke about money as an energy. So how does money as an energy function or actually behave?
Actually, everything is an energy. You are also an energy, but we are more solid. There is a form. But money doesn't have that form because it changes. The notes change. Now we don't even use notes very much. It is a transfer through internet.
Yeah.
So it is actually an energy. So this has been recognized by everybody in the metaphysical world. So when you think of money, the image you have, you will find it flowing through you.
Okay. And also, when we receive money, when somebody gives us money, we feel very good. But when we have to pay it to someone, we don't want to pay. Like maybe it can be taxes, even paying taxes also. When receiving, there's a lot of happiness and all. But while giving, there's
You
a lot
know, I'm
of
very happy to pay taxes
yeah.
because the more taxes I pay, the more money I have made. I have earned more money, so I'm paying more. So think of it like that. The more taxes you pay, the more abundance which are coming to you.
And
So
what about
turn it around and understand that you're getting the money to actually pay.
paying bills and all at the end of the month? Like
Yeah,
it's
because
it's a
these are
misery.
things which we need. These are resources that we need and which we require on an everyday basis. How lucky we are that we have the money to pay for them. So think of yourself as lucky to have that money. And that's why I said when you give money in any way, whether it's a transfer or whether it is a cash or check or whatever it is, give the intention that this money is coming back to me tenfold.
Yes. Yes. And
So
yeah. So when we give also with the sense of abundance, because money is an energy, whether coming or giving, it is
yeah,
abundance.
it comes. This is something that I say very often. During this tsunami in Chennai, there was this message which became viral. It was a software engineer who was standing in his balcony waiting for food packet to be dropped. He said, I've got enough and more money in my bank account. But here I am standing on the balcony and waiting for somebody to drop a packet of food. I don't have food. So, lack means lack can be anything, it is not just money. And the more you think of abundance, the more it will come.
Yeah, where the thought goes, the energy flows. The more
Energy will follow.
yeah,
So that is why when it is an energy, it will come as you change your thoughts.
and also I've heard that many people keep their bills and all in the wallet. So because wallet is a place for money and abundance,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when we
But
keep
it
bills
is
along,
best not to keep anything other than money in your wallet.
yes,
So only your credit cards and things and cash, nothing else in your wallet. Keep it on another pouch,
yeah,
but don't put it in the same place. Give money respect. Money likes respect. And money likes happiness. So be happy when you're spending and receiving money.
yeah,
Because happiness is also an energy. So money will flow there.
yeah,
And any kind of negative energy like sadness, loneliness, etc., is a block because you're not allowing money, allowing energy to flow when you're sad. So money will not go there.
yeah. So, very, very nice thoughts about. So, I'll just sum it up. One is that do not keep anything other than money in your wallet. Second is feel good about receiving as well as spending money. Third is respect money. And fourth will be that the self talk, the belief system, we should use positive words around money and refrain from using negative words around money. And lastly, do this visualization technique for feeling that, because when we do a visualization, actually we are preparing our mind and body to actually receive, because you also mentioned about at times we are not ready to receive it.
And also, when you visualize and when you hear it, we are involving all our senses. So that makes a difference. That allows energy to flow into you.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is why it is successful.
Any concluding remarks from your side, Jaya, which we wouldn't have?
You have wound it up very well, Manjari. Thank you. And thank you for having me here. It is the way you look at it.
Okay.
People even think of money as a companion. So if it is a woman, she would rather have a male companion.
Okay.
So she would think of money as a male.
Okay. So this is a
But
very interesting perspective.
that is the feminine masculine energy balance is another story some other time. That by itself is uh,
Many.
talk.
Okay. So then money can be both feminine and masculine depending on how we.
Depending on how you look at it.
Okay. Yeah, nice perspective. Many, many thanks, Jaya, for explaining it to us and sharing your money wisdom. I hope a lot of people become millionaires after watching this podcast. Do write to us if you
I
become,
would
and
love to hear from them.
yeah, if and when you become a millionaire, do write to us.
And one more, you wanted a last line from me. So one of the things I would like to say is universe is an abundant place. There is no scarcity there. So Even if we have all the people who are watching this become millionaires, there's enough money to go around. So don't think that other people have more money, so it is limited for me. Just trust the universe and its abundance limitlessly.
So yes, I also write to you once I become a millionaire.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.